When I ask how do you know that that's true, I'm saying that yeah, you said that God created everything, right? Cool. I'm accepting your claim that God created everything. What I'm saying is that how do we know your claim is actually true? Like for example, if I were to tell you that I have $10 million hidden in the Bahamas, are you just gonna believe me because I said so?
Um, I mean,
You wouldn't. You wouldn't. That's you know you wouldn't. We all know we wouldn't, bro. You're not that. You're not gullible. You feel me? So if I told you I have $10 million in the Bahamas, quit your job, and we're gonna go to the Bahamas and dig it up, you're not just gonna quit your job and believe me, right? Like you're gonna have to say, all right, I'm gonna have to see some sort of proof that you got this $10 million in Nassau, right?
yeah.
Like you're not just gonna follow me there. So it's the
Okay.
same thing.
Your expectations are much higher than mine. Then your standards are higher than mine. I don't need that much evidence to prove God exists.
Why not though? All right, Layman. What's your name, Layman?
Hey, how are you? Yes.
How's it going, Layman? Are you over 18 and do you
Good.
believe in some sort of God that created a hell?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Who goes to that place? I don't believe in a God. Do you think I'll go there?
Well, I think well, if you don't believe in God, you're already there.
If I don't believe in God, then I'm already in hell.
Spiritually speaking, you're still dead.
So I'm not in hell. I'm just dead.
If you don't believe in God, you're spiritually dead. Yeah, you're separated from Him right now. And when we die, the physical goes away, but the immaterial continues. So if you can't reestablish a relationship with Him here, you won't have Him there.
Okay, cool. Why do I deserve torture?
Well, I think He's building a kingdom of people who want to be with Him. And if you don't want to be with Him, then you should get exactly what you want.
Which is torture?
Well, He's offering everlasting life. So the opposite of that would have to be something other than that.
Yeah, well, like complete elimination, right? So, but what he's sending me to is gonna be torture. Appreciate that to hear.
Well, we're told in Scripture that we're born
Hmm.
and we never die. So it's not annihilationism.
All right, cool. But the question I really have though is that why would I deserve to go to a place of everlasting torture for not believing in something that I have no evidence for?
Well, regardless of whether or not the evidence is sufficient for you, it's if something is ordained by God, it's going to happen. So He's given us a time right now to figure it out, if you will. And the way I look at it, it's like if you can't figure it out in 100 years best, you're probably never going to figure it out. More than that, though, He's the one that actually predestined us, right? So like He's the one that chose us from the beginning of time.
Oh, so I'm not even sending myself to hell. I have no free will. I'm just gonna go there anyway.
That's right. He says, "I wish all be saved, but there is going to be a lot of people who won't be with us."
Ah, okay, great. So that means that God created sentient beings and creatures who feel and love only for them to be tortured at the end. That's kind of sick. Why would I want to be with that?
Well, because you have a choice.
No, I don't. You just said I was predestined for it.
Right now, you can commit your life to Jesus Christ. Right here in front of your 60 followers. That is a choice that you can make.
No, it's not because God knows I'm not gonna do it. I'm already destined to not do it.
Then we're right. That's true. You
So
just proved it.
I just proved that I deserve to be tortured.
Your active, listen, our active rejection of God is evidence we don't want to be with Him.
It's not an active rejection of God. I just have no reason to believe it. I mean, if I had a good reason to believe it, I will believe it. But
Conscious,
simply saying
conscious.
like this book says so, that's not really a good reason, right?
Even before the book, I was talking with someone the other day about this. Even before any religion,
Hmm.
just my awareness, my consciousness is enough evidence for me personally that something exists.
Yeah, sure, we exist. You talking about something
Right.
other than us?
Correct. That's
Well,
like more than enough evidence. The fact that there are things here to me means like who created these things.
why does it have to be a who? Why come it's not a what?
We have a thinking mind, and so in order for that thinking mind to exist, something of equal or greater value would have to be behind it.
Not necessarily. How did you figure that out? How do you know that?
How do I know what?
How do you know that just because we have conscious minds, therefore there had to be another deliberate conscious mind behind it? How do you know that?
Well, we see evidence of it here in the world. In order for anything to be built, there has to be a builder behind it.
Yeah,
Right?
but
Like the house that you're sitting in right now originally had a builder.
correct. But the thing is, you're assuming that the universe was a deliberate built, like deliberately built by something, and we have no evidence for that being the case.
Well, I mean, how much more evidence do you need?
We would actually have to have evidence that something built it. The reason why we know houses are designed and built is because we have experience with if we go out in nature, like you're not gonna see a house like my house just out there in nature with like naturally pops up out the ground, right? We're never gonna see that. So
Right?
say but like and when we compare the universe to that, like we don't have any other universe to explore, right? This is the only universe that we have. So what are you comparing it to know that this universe must have been deliberate, what compared to another universe that's not deliberate? How do you, like, for example, you know how a silk rose, like the texture, how it feels, and you know a real rose that grew up out the ground because of the texture, because of the cells, because of the smell, et cetera, et cetera. We only have one universe, right? So we can't compare it to anything else. So how do you know that this one is deliberate compared to another one?
Just simply by the fact that it exists.
Yeah, but this had exists.
Like whether it was deliberate, I'm not sure I understand what you mean by deliberate or not, but I think you're looking into it too much. I look at it from a much like just simple standpoint. Like things exist, therefore somebody created it.
Right, but that's not necessarily the case because what about clouds? Someone created clouds. No one created clouds. Clouds exist because water evaporates. This is a complete natural process. Right. The
God
universe
created
could be the same.
everything, right? He
The
created the
universe.
heavens, the earth,
Right.
water, food, clouds, the ecosystem, gravity,
I
laws of
understand that's
physics,
what I understand that
mathematics.
I understand that's what you believe. I'm asking is how do you know that's true? What's the evidence behind that?
How do I know that's true?
Can I jump in? I'm sorry. I've been.
Not yet. Not yet.
I got.
Everybody gets 15 minutes. Not yet. But yeah, what I'm saying is when I ask how do you know that that's true, I'm saying that yeah, you said that God created everything, right? Cool. I'm accepting your claim that God created everything. What I'm saying is that how do we know your claim is actually true? Like for example, if I were to tell you that I have $10 million hidden in the Bahamas, are you just gonna believe me because I said so?
Um, I mean,
You won. You won. That's you know you win. We all know we won, bro. You're not gullible. You feel me? So if I told you I have $10 million in the Bahamas, quit your job and we're gonna go to the Bahamas and dig it up, you're not just gonna quit your job and believe me, right? Like you're gonna have to say, all right, I'm gonna have to see some sort of proof that you got this $10 million in Nassau, right?
yeah.
Like you're not just gonna follow me there. So it's the
Okay.
same thing.
Your expectations are much higher than mine. Then your standards are higher than mine. I don't need that much evidence to prove God exists.
Why not though? Why shouldn't it? Because this like
Because Scripture
affects your
tells
whole
us
life,
that,
right?
right? Because Scripture tells us that the beginning of all wisdom and truth is the fear of God. You have to acknowledge that God exists before the gates open to understand who He is. If you reject Him, you're not going to be looking in the right direction. I found that when I opened myself up to Him and acknowledged He existed, answers started coming to me left and right. Truth starts coming to you left and right. Scripture makes sense.
Okay, so you have to presuppose it's true before you believe that it's true.
100%. Got it.
Yeah, that's not how anything works, bro.
Of course, every science project in the world starts with that, a hypothesis. I think this will work. Therefore, let me test it. And they do, and you get results. And you can do the same thing with God. And
That's
He
not
requires
how.
humility.
That's not really how it works. Like
All
and
right, have it.
within the scientific method, they come up with a hypothesis, right? But when you come up with a hypothesis, you actually try to prove it false. And if you fail to prove it false, then that's how you know that it's true.
Yeah, it's just
That's
an
how testing
it's
works.
yeah, I just meant to give an analogy that like we see evidence of God in our relationship with him, us believing him in the same thing we do down here at science. We believe something might work and then we go and try it. That's all I meant to say with that.
Let me try to give you another example through another religion, right? My parents are from Haiti, right? My grandmother was a Haitian voodoo practitioner. She believed in Ogun, Shango, Urzili, those gods. As a matter of fact, during the Haitian Revolution, it wasn't a church service that inspired them to rise up. It was a voodoo ceremony. They sacrificed some chickens. They made praise to Ogun, Papa Legba, Urzili, etc., etc. And a voodoo priest gave a prophecy. He said that if we keep up the traditions of our ancestors, if we keep the tradition of the homeland of Africa, we will beat the French.
Hmm.
So they kept up the tradition, and they did beat the French. Does that mean Haitian voodoo is true?
I mean, I've never read about Haitian voodoo, but all I do know is that when I applied the Bible to my own life, I've got nothing but positive success.
When I applied Haitian voodoo to my life, I've gotten success.
Are you Haitian voodoo right now?
Yeah, I am basically.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so like, but you see what the problem is there, right? I don't actually believe those spirits are actually real. I just use it metaphorically.
so why
I
are
use
you
them,
praying to them if you think they're fake? It seems like
I
a
don't
waste
pray
of
to them.
time.
I don't pray to them. It's more of a symbolic thing for me. Now I do know
Okay.
people who do
Well,
pray for them.
yeah, I've just found praying to one man, Jesus Christ, or praying to God through Jesus Christ is just it's streamlined. It makes things effortless.
Can you say that about any other religion?
Well, no other. Sorry about that. Some noise in the background. No other religion, God sent His Son down to die for us. It's a sacrificial way of restoring a relationship. I
So
think it's the most beautiful story in the world, frankly.
wait, so what? So no other religion had the supreme God that sent down His Son to be a virgin sacrifice, and that makes it true. I don't.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. What I'm saying is that of all the other religions out there that I've looked at, this one is the most compelling from that standpoint. That this God that created all of this beautiful stuff gave us life, we threw it away, and then He actually sent His Son down to be a propitiation so that we could restore a relationship with Him. That sacrificial, let me create everything for you guys. I know you're going to screw it up, but I'm going to send a solution. It's like the most beautiful story. Like I would die on a hill for that kind of a God.
I
That's
mean,
why I'm a Christian.
that's not compelling to me. The reason why it's not compelling to me because if he already knew everything, then everything he did was pointless. But the second thing is that why would he need to go send his own son to death and not just forgive us? Why need bloodshed? If you're all powerful, just forgive us. What's the
Because we
bloodshed
see
for?
it because we see it all the way in the second page of the Bible. Genesis 2. God gave us everything. It was perfect. We disobeyed, and He clothed us in animal skins. And for you see the beginning of blood being needed in order to atone for sins in the second page of the Bible.
The question is why.
Because our life, the thing that God cares about, is in the blood.
Wait, so an all powerful God can't do something without blood? That doesn't
Listen,
really make
man,
him all
of
powerful.
course He can snap His fingers and just build a whole thing of robots. But that's not what He's looking for. He has to put the system in place.
Right. I know. I'm not asking for people to be robots. What I'm asking is why can't he forgive us without bloodshed? And you said that is necessary. And my
Well,
question is why is that
it's
necessary? Because he's all powerful. Why does he
I
need bloodshed?
understand. I understand. I understand. Sorry about that. It's because of the disobedience, right? In the presence of a good, holy, righteous God, disobedience by definition can't stand. He has to separate himself or he wouldn't be God. So it is a there is a requirement of death that is necessary in order for that to take place. And what we see in the animal skins before Christ returns is a temporary band-aid, if you will, for the future one to come back and sacrifice himself for us completely.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
It's in the it's in the blood. It's death and life. It's all of that. That's why we need it.
yeah.
God takes it seriously.
I got you. Well, the thing is that sounds very morbid and torturous because over in Haitian voodoo, you don't need all that death. You could sacrifice anything. You could burn a piece of paper and say, "Ancestors, help me with this," and they'll help you out.
Okay, be a Haitian voodoo guy then. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. What I'm saying is that it just seems unnecessary. You don't think? Because if he's
I find
powerful
it to
enough
be
to,
productive. When I have applied it to my life and stopped fighting it, I found all of the promises and blessings to just come to me. I can talk to him. He gives me answers, wisdom, truth. It's like I'm now actually in the canoe just going downstream. I'm no longer trying to row upstream. It's easy, you know?
like, life is easier.
Yes, dude. You're
Okay, life
free
is
from
easier.
all of this internal bondage, right? All of the temptations that are pulling you back from being everything God made you to be. Those
What
things, they just
temptations?
fall. Oh,
What
dude,
temptations?
everything. Anger, jealousy,
You don't get
infidelity,
angry
sexual
anymore.
immorality, all of the things that you know that you should be doing but can't, he frees you from that. So you can do them.
So you don't get angry anymore.
I get angry. He
Hmm.
tells me, "You're angry." I say, "Father, show me what it means to be like Christ." He reveals it to me. And in that moment, I have it.
You can't do that on your own.
I cannot do that all on my own.
Yeah, you see, and that's
He says, "The only
I'm
way
not.
to me is through
I
Jesus
got you.
Christ."
Right, I got you. That I'm trying to say this without sounding insulting.
You're good.
That seems very. I don't understand. How can I say this? That seems very gullible and childlike because it's like
Mhm.
if I get upset and I'm upset about something, I can process my feelings without appealing to a God, and I think you can too. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that it doesn't seem it seems unnecessary. Like this seems like an extra step that's unnecessary because I can get angry or I can lust after someone, but like I have a wife. You know what I'm saying? So no matter if I see Kelly Rowland or Beyonce, I'm like that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't need to go through this whole process of a God and everything like that. It just seems unnecessary. You see what I mean?
I do, yeah. And I guess what I would say to that is the juice comes from doing it for somebody else, more doing it for God. Even more than that, doing it for a God who knows that we hate him and yet he came down and saved us. It's you're going to the very tippity top of how would I say it? It's like you're able to tap into all the power that he's always had waiting for you to be able to go out and do everything that he's always had waiting for you to do because you're doing it for him. You're dying on his hill versus what I want to do or just doing some meditational practice.
Why can
It
I do
gives me
what
the
I
extra juice.
got you? But why can't I do what I want to do if it's not harming anyone?
You can. Paul
Great.
says that all things are, what's he say? He says, all things are okay for me to do, but not all things are beneficial.
All things are okay for me to do, but not all things are beneficial. Actually, I do agree with that. Not all things are beneficial. Like
Hmm.
me just watching, reality TV, I'm just getting entertainment out of that. It doesn't hurt anyone, but it's not really beneficial because
Exactly.
it's just entertainment. I actually do agree with that. As I guess what I'm saying is that everything that I want to do and that I want to be and being a good person, et cetera, none of it seems necessary. Like this book doesn't seem necessary to do that, right? Because I can do all that without it.
Yeah, but it's easier when you do it with him. It works consistently versus me having to bring my own energy and,
Not really. Not really. Those a
well,
lot of
have it your way.
no those yeah those no those a lot of contradictory things or things that were not harmful at all that were. I mean, I'm getting that's more into church culture because different churches have different rules. So that's more churchy culture, and I get that as different from. I get that church culture and Christianity are two different things. But Layman, we're kind of over time here, but I do
Yeah, you're good.
appreciate you being up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thanks
go
for
ahead and
having me,
move on.
man.
All right,
I'll give you a follow.
not a problem. I appreciate you.
Have a good one.
All righty.